Partnered by Times Influence.
Hello and welcome to a brand new series on ET Now, focusing on the ideal places to work. We begin our journey with a company that will give you wings to accelerate your career and also fulfill your travel bucket list.
SpiceJet is a low-cost airline headquartered in Gurugram. It is the third largest airline in the country by number of domestic passengers carried. SpiceJet's mission is to become India's preferred low-cost airline, and its dedicated workforce is determined to fulfill this goal. Let's find out how the employees at SpiceJet are writing their success stories along with its chairman and MD Ajay Singh.
SpiceJet has successfully turned the tables under the leadership of its CMD Mr. Ajay Singh. So let's find out why SpiceJet is one of India's finest places to work for in the airline industry. Mr. Singh, hello and welcome to India's finest workplaces. To begin with, you took over a company which was going through a turbulent phase. What made you step in?
Firstly, it was a company that I had been a part of its birth, and therefore it was extremely dear to me.
Certainly.
But I think there were several rational reasons as well. Aviation in India was growing at a fast pace, and my feeling was that it would do extremely well in the future. SpiceJet was a brand which was known throughout the country, was loved throughout the country, except of course for the last few months of turbulence. I also thought that, after the experience of Kingfisher and the company shutting down, that whole episode gave a very bad name to Indian aviation and to India as a brand, as a place for doing business. And I wanted to ensure that that would not happen to SpiceJet. I also had a great deal of confidence in the people at SpiceJet, many of whom I had hired in 2005. Okay. So the core team was still there, and I was confident that the SpiceJet team would ensure that if we all work together, there would be great success in the future.
Certainly. So your decision to take over has turned out quite well for SpiceJet, and you owe this success to your people. So can you highlight the role of human resource in this turnaround story of SpiceJet?
I think there's no company without its people, and that's even more the case for an airline company. A lot of what happens has to do with the well-being of the people themselves and how they behave with customers and with each other. So I think just the fact the people of SpiceJet have put completely inhuman energy behind this turnaround process. They worked extremely hard. They worked with a lot of passion. It's not been a job for them. It's been a calling. I think what they've achieved is something which is being talked about around the world. It's a unique story in the world of aviation.
Right.
It's being written about throughout the world. There are people writing case studies on this.
A happy workforce yields remarkable output for the company. Here's a look at Team SpiceJet and their inspiring story.
I joined SpiceJet in 2005 and I completed 12 years in this SpiceJet industry, and I learned so many things, and I saw so many up and downs in this company. I love to work with SpiceJet because it's red hot spicy.
It has been a wonderful journey since last 12 years, and I joined in the year 2005, and the journey has been wonderful. We have seen ups and downs throughout, but the management has been wonderful. They've supported us through all the times, good and bad, and we have been appreciated when we have done good.
Well, it has been almost 12 remarkable years working at SpiceJet. I joined this organization way back in 2005 as station manager Jammu Airport, and this organization has given me identity, recognition, and at the same time it has given me a challenge to explore my potential as a leader.
So Mr. Singh, your key strength is in your people. So could you highlight some of the, some of your key initiatives that you have taken for their overall development?
See, as you're correctly saying, the core of SpiceJet are the people of SpiceJet. That's what this brand is all about. And it is our endeavor to ensure that people who are working at SpiceJet have fun working at SpiceJet and they grow in their professional and personal lives as they work at SpiceJet. So we are trying to take a whole host of initiatives for them. Firstly, we want to make sure that they continue to learn. They learn on the job, they learn in classrooms. So, we have tied up with the business schools around the country, the Indian Institutes of Management, Amity University, others. We are trying to make sure that they have an avenue where they can continue to learn, get degrees from various colleges and so on. We've started an apprentice program, which is really a huge initiative towards this whole Skill India program that the government of India has. Right. So anybody who wants to be a technician or an engineer at SpiceJet, we invite him to be an apprentice at SpiceJet. We are doing several other things, like I wanted to make sure that as people work at SpiceJet, we are able to help them buy a house, buy a car. We haven't been able to get to buying the house yet, but at least for cars, we are providing loans to people who want to buy cars for themselves. We are ensuring that people can go for offsites. Each department can go for their own offsites at least once a year. We play a lot of sport at SpiceJet. We have the most wonderful cricket team of all the companies. We win pretty much every corporate tournament that we enter in, and we also have a volleyball team. We have a swimming team, and we play a lot of sport at SpiceJet. We also engage people in all the events that we have: Diwali, Dussehra, Eid, Independence Day, all the national functions. So we involve them, and you would have seen that there is a video which has gone viral, which is a holy dance that we traditionally have both on the aircraft as well as at airports. At some point of time, we want to make sure that we can help them buy homes. We can help them have significant wealth through an ESOP program. So those are big objectives in SpiceJet.
All right. So moving on, pilots are, they play a significant role in your human resource. And since you are expanding rapidly, how do you make sure that they're calm and composed with the pressures of, meeting the new routes that you guys are
See, firstly, we have
taking?
an excellent set of pilots, very high quality people, thorough professionals who work exceedingly hard. So we are trying to find ways in which we can firstly pay them for the service that they give to the company.
Right.
Secondly, that we have contracts which can be tailor-made for their requirements. So if somebody wants to fly just an X number of hours in a month, he should be able to do that.
Okay.
If somebody wants to fly for 2 weeks in a month and take 2 weeks off, he should be able to do that. So, so we are trying to create flexibility in contracts. An extremely important part is that the roster itself must be fixed. So pilots must know when they are required to fly and when they have an off. So there will be lots of new technology that the pilots will get to work with. We have an electronic flight bag program now. There is going to be a heads-up display in some of the new planes. So there'll be a new learning and new excitement for the pilots as time goes on.
SpiceJet invests heavily in safety. Pilots are handpicked to ensure a smooth flying experience for passengers. But what keeps the captain motivated? Let's find out.
So initially it's not easy to get the job. So for me also, I had a struggle of maybe 1 year. So thereafter I was hired in SpiceJet and one more airlines. But then I chose to get attached with SpiceJet only. And thereafter it has been a smooth ride. After you get selected, then it's all fine. Like you get hired as a trainee first officer. Then within 6 months you get upgraded to a first officer. and after 3.5 years, then I was upgraded as a captain.
Okay, as a captain, the perks are, I believe SpiceJet is one of the most supporting and friendly culture we have around here. So I believe that is one of the most important things as a captain. We need to stay relaxed even though we are focused at all the times. And in SpiceJet we all are working towards the same goal, that is safety of our passengers, and every single day we work towards the same goal. So I believe that, and with a very good salary, I believe that is one of the big perks, with extra benefits that we get in day-to-day life, and a good work-life balance that I believe is a very important thing.
It's time for a quick break. See you on the other side.
Welcome back. We continue to unearth the achievements of Team SpiceJet and how its employees are making the most out of this success.
So, Mr. Singh, moving on with our conversation, can you talk to us about the pay packages that you offer to your employees at SpiceJet? Because according to me, that is something which really matters to the young generation, the millennials that are going to join the workforce.
Firstly, I disagree with you that the pay package is the biggest thing for employees.
Okay.
I can tell you from my experience at SpiceJet that what motivates people is something which is above salaries, which is a larger objective. People on the whole, especially people who have technical skills, the engineers, the pilots, the cabin crew, are compensated extremely well. What we are trying to do is to make sure that people get salaries which are of course at par with everybody, but they also get opportunities at SpiceJet to move from one area to the other. So if you're cabin crew but you're interested in a management position, you should be able to move. And my instructions to the company are that please make sure that wherever there is a position available, the first choice for that position should be an internal candidate. So we are trying to ensure that, and we've seen a lot of movement. We've seen people becoming pilots, people who are in scheduling becoming pilots, cabin crew becoming pilots as well, getting significantly higher compensation as a consequence of that. So SpiceJet is about trying to educate people, trying to uplift people, trying to get them career progression.
I can sense it that you have a special affection towards your workforce, and we can see it all over SpiceJet, to be honest. For example, you believe in harnessing your in-house talent to an extent that your cabin crews are now your poster girls. So how has it impacted your cabin crews and captains?
I think our own people are the best ambassadors for our brand. So I think it's really exciting for people to firstly go represent their brand, represent it in all sorts of forums. You see your photograph on a billboard, your friends see your photograph on a billboard. I think it's a thrilling experience for people. So we will continue to do this. For everything that SpiceJet does, and SpiceJet is doing a lot of promotion and publicity and branding and marketing, and for us there is no better ambassador for our brand than our own people.
From ground staff to cabin crew, the focus is on the overall development on the employees. Let's find out what the employees have to say about their journey at SpiceJet.
SpiceJet, in short, it has altered my personality overall. I was an introvert by creation. Considering how I was prior, now I'm totally a different personality. I'm an independent girl living the normal life, but with more courage, and I'm confident.
I am in the organization from last 6 years now. I was in the other department. I was into reservations earlier. I was there for 6 months, then got picked up to be a crew through an internal job posting. After becoming crew, the life totally changed for me, because the groundwork which I used to do earlier was different, and the responsibilities which was given to me after I became cabin crew was totally different. And yes, I've grown in my life personally as in cabin crew, because when you fly as a cabin crew, you get to meet a lot of people daily, and everybody is not same. So when you interact with people with different cultures, different languages, you learn a lot of things. I'm still learning.
We are in conversation with Surajit Banerjee, the head of HR for SpiceJet. Surajit, welcome to India's finest workplaces.
Thank you so much.
To begin with, you head the human resource department at SpiceJet, and managing the human resource is not an easy task. So how do you manage to keep your employees motivated? What are the rewards and recognitions, that you offer to your employees?
Well, we have a fairly elaborate process of rewarding employees for performance, for application, but more importantly, I think as an organization, we are a listening organization. There are opportunities for employees to be heard. And I think that's one of the biggest rewards that SpiceJet can offer to its employees. Yeah, it's got very good communication system right up to the chairman, where an employee can just walk into the chairman's office, share what he has to, and it would get necessary redressal there. I think the approach with regard to reward and recognition is quite unusual and extremely effective.
Since your workforce is spread across different regions, different parts of the country, and they travel on a regular basis.
That's right.
So how do you ensure that they are fit?
What we really do is we have reasonable awareness processes by which employee understands that for this kind of work, they keep themselves necessarily fit, right? Apart from that, there's regular fitness checks for all staff, for crew in particular, and medical help available at the airports. Apart from that, there is Mediclaim policies available in case you're unwell, and we try and do yoga programs which can keep employees in good physical shape.
Can you talk a bit about the Mediclaim policy that you offer your employees?
It's a cashless policy that is there, and employees and their families whom they've got nominated with the organization, they can get hospitalization, and it's a cashless facility which is available. And based on that, treatment is given. There are people from my department who actually follow up and ensure that the necessary help is provided in time. And that, I think, is most crucial with regard to hospitalization.
SpiceJet has a huge bank of female employees. So what are the perks for a female employee at SpiceJet?
So the ladies who work in SpiceJet, the biggest perk is a safe organization. And in today's world, I don't think there can be a bigger perk than that. You have an environment where you are treated equally. So in terms of opportunities, growth, etc., there's no discrimination. There's a very, very robust process with regard to reaching out to ladies who may perceive or experience something which may not be absolutely a very happy situation, and we redress them very fast. So as an organization which has a large number of ladies working, to my mind, these are really big perks, and makes the place so much more exciting.
They have given special facility for girls. After 1900 hours, we have a guard which comes along with the driver to drop us till the time we enter our place, and it's same in the morning before 7.
Shailendra, welcome to India's finest workplaces.
Thank you.
So to begin with, in a business like yours, training is very important.
Right.
So what are some of the different training programs that you offer at SpiceJet?
Sure. So you would have seen, or you might have been aware that it's a vast array of trainings that we do, right from the pilot trainings to the engineering trainings to the cabin crew training,
right,
to the airport guys. So there's a lot of competency mix that we get, and they're very extensive as well. They're very structured. And if you see something like a cabin crew training program, the initial piece happens for something like 3 months.
Right.
So we would cover safety and emergency procedures, because these guys would save you once things kind of go wrong, right? they have the grooming training because they're supposed to look really presentable and nice.
Exactly.
Yeah, right? And the basics of customer service in terms of the attitude or the warmth that we're supposed to display in front of customers. We have a training for that as well.
Right.
And then, of course, how to carry yourself and communicate effectively. So this entire piece just for the cabin crew is extensively covered in about 3 months.
Okay.
And then on top of that, we do have a lot of developmental training programs where we provide skill sets to our employees to make them perform at the jobs at their potential, because ultimately these guys are the assets that we have.
The aviation sector is a grooming hub for young job seekers. Let's find out how SpiceJet has changed the lives of its employees.
18th of January 2013, and at that time I joined a different department, and my boss had a lot of faith in me. He said that, you know, you are best for grooming. So then from there he shifted me to training department, and from there on my journey started. I started taking care of in-flight cabin crew, and then later on we started taking care of ground services. So now we are taking care of the entire grooming of SpiceJet. I always tell them that I'm not training you for SpiceJet, I'm training you for your entire life. So even when you have your babies and stuff, you train them how to sit, how to talk, and I feel so content at the end of the day that the passion what I had, you know, it's still with me, and I'm implementing that on a regular routine.
I've seen changes in myself, what I was before I joined as a cabin crew and what I am today. There's a lot of differences. And first aid training which is given to us has helped me in my personal life. Not more than 2 or 3 months before, I've actually saved a life on the road. I saw there was an accident and his hand was amputated. So what I did, if I would have not done that first aid training, I was not aware about how to do it. But then I actually put him a tourniquet and took him to the hospital, and he was safe.
So, do you have a feedback mechanism for your employees as well?
Absolutely, that's the most important. That's the voice of the customer. All right, I need to know. So we go by levels of feedback. The first level is absolutely a reaction, where how did they like the training at the first go, right? So that's there. And then we have anonymous feedback. We see the effectiveness or the ROI of a particular training program through steps. The first step is the reaction. The second is the recall of the learning, which we do about 30 days later, and we go back to them and say, hey, do you remember what you've done? So employee feedback is very, very important for us.
And how do you ensure that you are giving the right training to your employees?
So we have a mandate, we have a monthly review which takes place between our trainers, and in each quarter a trainer is supposed to build a training program based on his or her knowledge and train the other trainers to do it. So that is where we see how it's a right fit. So you would say horses for courses, right?
Right.
Yeah, so we're trying to build as many courses for the different folks that we get on board.
With thousands of employees putting in their heart and soul for the brand, the management, on the other hand, is committed to give several reasons to its employees to enjoy working at SpiceJet and fly high in success.
Partnered by Times Influence.